But I've always been also like you. I've been trying to be attentive to this relationship between the inner and the outer visioning, which is constant. And in some ways, the idea that they're separate things is itself highly problematic, if not completely false. So the fact that you see something in a kind of a linear time sense internally, but then when you encounter it later, it's really just a recognition of something in a way that's always been there. And so you're just sort of living with the flow of your perceptual experience. Every time you dream, you're not experiencing your body or yourself or your sense of yourself in the same way at all as this so-called wokeness, which sometimes this is the least woke level. I mean, that's the Hindu Upanishads talk about the 4 levels of consciousness, and this one is the lowest. And that dreaming with images is deeper, but there's still a sense of separation between a subject and an object, even though you know more that it's still all internally unified. Deep sleep, you're still conscious, but it's just all a single reality. And then the beautiful 4th level is neither this nor that. Not dual, not dual.
Sleep is...
And sleep is a blissful feeling.
Yeah.
Everybody loves sleeping. I don't know anyone who doesn't like to sleep. Well, you're awake to the fact that your inner world is the richest and has as much infinity internally as there is externally. And again, it's all a single flow.
Okay. This is the mirror.
Yes.
The mirror of what we're working inside.
Uh-huh. Well, some of the traditions talk about mirrors as how perception is. That the world is reflected through us as a mirror, and we reflect back out. But that's just a kind of the use of a metaphor to try and say or concretize what's beyond really describing. But this place, the energy of places, this place is a beautiful gift that you've given me. And mountains are always very profound spiritual events.
The whole...
Because you're literally doing with your body what your inner world is doing all the time, ascending. And a lot of pilgrimages are about climbing mountains. And it's all the same, because the earth is still herself. All that stuff is just pasted on there, or passing. I mean, it's not permanent. It has a beginning, it will have an end. I don't know if you know about the way the earthquake scientists have discerned that the plates we're on here, Long Beach will eventually crash against Alaska. So all of this stuff is just going to be gone because, the earth will move and just sort of shrug her shoulders and it'll just be removed as things move around. All this stuff just won't be. And that's, less than 1 million years away. Maybe only a few thousand.
This was in here.
No, yeah. This is less than 100 years old. So it's obvious that in less than 100, it'll be either gone or completely transformed into something else. But this whole mobileness, or you could say the subjectivization of perceptual tools and access to the world, if not the universe, through a machine, which is also becoming an extension of the person. That will do away with the necessity for a whole lot of physical structures and needs to move objects around. It's almost like we'll be able to, already, you can hold in your hand and be anywhere. And that's beyond the science fiction from when I was a kid in the 60s. Being born in 1958, here's George Jetson, his boy Elroy. It was, and they had things that they were doing that would be like low-grade technology now, and that was considered, fantastical, far away. Now that's like ancient shit. Now, are we on here?
Mm-hmm.
That's good.
Recording. The phones and stuff, like what struck me about, I'm just looking at my phone, I was using the GPS.
Yes.
And I'm like so many things had to happen and occur in order for the GPS to exist itself. People mapped out, like astrologers responsible or contributed to the development of the GPS system.
Yes.
Like, mapping out stars, mapping out places, like.
Well, that has to do again with even higher viewpoints and the whole like Google Earth thing. Now, this has been funded. The money for this comes from the military-industrial complex, but it does not remain there.
Mm-hmm.
And as much as they think that by watching everybody, they're going to be able to control everybody, that's just not happening. No, because people are going to keep moving.
Keep thinking, keep feeling.
Yes, and that's the. That's the beauty of what's going on at the so-called border, is that's women and children of this part of the earth just walking over it to get to another place to be able to live. And they can't be stopped. They can be delayed.
Mm.
Individuals can be deeply harmed, which is happening. It goes to the level of these are concentration camps for children. It's an anti-Latino, anti-indigenous mass imprisonment plan that's now being actualized. It's not like this is, again, there's a continuum here. It's not the fault of one person. But this is being exposed and will collapse. Because everything that Gautama has taught us, everything that comes into a form will go out of the same form. This is the nature of physical reality, is that forms appear and then they fall apart. So, that's why I don't worry. Now, because I'm not the one who has to put up with like being in jail and having nowhere to piss, and having shitty food and sleeping on concrete. But that's a passing thing. And it's obvious that once people discover what it is, they don't want it. So it will not remain. Well, we would say spirit moving. That's one way of giving a name to the form or the fashion. That is really, it's just unseen energy flowing.